roll my eyes sometimes so hard that it hurts, and
oh God, that got stuck.
Yeah, and keep on scrolling. So that works well for me, and I don't have to fuck with a whole bunch of people because, like, I made a comment one time on some fucking group, and these bitches came after me so bad I had to leave the group. And wound up blocking like 20 people.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, it's like no.
And what did they accomplish? Did they change the way you look at life? No.
Nope. And it was an opinion thing, and I gave my opinion. Well, apparently what that meant was, we want your opinion to be the same as ours. And I was like, oh, I see now. Well, have a nice fucking time, assholes. And I left, and
Taylor's making emoji ornaments.
Hadn't looked back. So now,
I can't believe she didn't make the poop emoji. I feel like if you're going to make an emoji set, the poop emoji has got to be there.
I would think so. So let's talk about the Cabot School District scandal.
We need to take a break.
Do you have to go poop again?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh my God, y'all.
All right, we're back, and we have no idea what the... Really?
No, not that smell. It smells like
if it doesn't smell like ass, then it's
kind of wood.
Then it's the thing over there, the candle.
It smells like burning wood. That was rude as fuck. I'm done.
Well, I mean, you did just finish blowing up the bathroom.
No, I didn't, because I got in there and just everything was like
shy.
Psych, yeah.
Oh, I grabbed these tweezers if that helped. They got real thin tip.
Not for the pooping. Ross has a splinter.
Do you want me to dig on you or you want to do it?
So we were getting ready to...
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I do.
We were finished up with the bullying.
Yeah, we were getting ready to talk about the Cabot School District scandal.
That's right.
So, we talked about this last year, I think.
No, it was only a couple months ago that this blew up.
Okay, well, there was a guy... I can't remember what his name was, but he does have one.
He was a volunteer.
He was a volunteer
athletic department.
In the athletic department. He was sentenced to, or he was convicted, rather, of some form of inappropriate conduct.
Remember, he had this teenager,
John Bradley Rich.
She sent him a text message saying, "Could you?"
Oh yeah, she wanted a recommendation,
like,
and he started talking about his fucking boner dream about her.
Yeah, and like, don't tell my wife and all this, and she immediately was like, "This is really inappropriate." And
so as it turns out, now motherfuckers that work for the school are in hot water for trying to cover it up.
And so they should be.
Oh, definitely.
This is August of 2019 is when KTV...
Right, but
that was the original... That was when he got in trouble the first time.
No, it took place in 2015.
Yeah.
Right.
But we just talked about it. Wasn't that long ago. It was after Mom.
I think what happened
she made a social media post.
Yeah, right. Well, the court case started in October,
and the gag order was lifted.
Right. Yeah. Well, now what the thing is let me see if I can remember the people who were supposed to report that.
Because if you're a teacher, you're a mandated reporter.
Yeah, if
an
you
administrator.
If you are a school employee, you are a mandated reporter. Mm-hmm. And a whole bunch of people did not do their reporting.
No.
And even the principal said, "I never made a report to DHS. Probably should have."
You think?
Really? Yeah, you fucking probably should have. He should lose his job over that.
You know, I guess I don't understand where the probably comes in.
Yeah.
You know, like, he is using a position as a volunteer through the athletic department to hit on teenage girls.
Yep.
Well, and apparently there's more coming out now.
Well, if he did it with her,
girls.
it wasn't just... he wasn't blinded by the beauty of this one random teenage girl. If he did it with her, I guarantee there's a goddamn string of them he's done it with.
Yep. And you know, if you're...
This was a middle school.
Oh my God!
Jesus,
was
I thought it was
really?
at the high school.
Yeah, I did too. I just assumed because I didn't.
So
want
the
to think
district
about
said his wife, because his wife works there, has denied claims that he returned to campus. But school officials said he was at the middle school in 2018 to give a presentation while working for D1 sports training.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, let's just let him. So he's already been inappropriate with a teenager. So let's just let him around younger, more impressionable girls.
Because that makes total sense.
You know, that's gross. And
yeah, you know, because if you're a teacher, administrator, whatever of a school, Your job, first and fucking foremost, is to keep those kids safe.
Well,
and anything, this isn't up for debate, there's not a whole lot of thought that needs to go into it. Anything that puts any of those kids in fucking harm's way, like, I don't know, having a sexual predator that's making inappropriate fucking contact with students, has to by law be reported to DHS.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not up
they don't
for
play
interpretation.
with mandated reporters.
Yeah, that's not open for interpretation.
It's not a suggestion.
There's no gray area there. It's pretty cut and dry.
It says
Yeah.
failing to report in Arkansas is a Class C misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Well, then he ought to be charged with it. As a matter of fact,
They
everybody
always
that was,
should.
4 or 5 people
everybody
that
that
knew
was
about
told
it.
that should be charged with that class, whatever you said,
Well,
misdemeanor.
and one of them said that he was told not to come back to campus, but they can't find any record
of that.
of that.
And we see proof that he did, in fact, come back on campus.
Yeah.
So he didn't even, their verbal smack down, he didn't, regard that. He, that's, again, I say they keep digging, they'll find more, because that lapse in judgment, that's not a one-off kind of thing.
Well, and it makes me wonder if he is one of these motherfuckers that was born and grew up here and went to school with all of the fucking teachers and all that shit, and they're trying to, sweep it under the rug.
Either that or his wife was.
Yeah,
because she's a teacher.
It's not like he took a couple of bucks out of the petty cash fund. This is some big shit,
Yeah, I mean,
and anybody who is complicit in that needs to be charged.
He was being sexually inappropriate with a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
What are we looking at?
I don't know. Someone on TikTok. Oh, he just drop kicked his own baby. I mean, he didn't mean
No,
to.
he didn't drop kick. He punched.
Jesus Christ! No,
He
that's
was
okay. I don't
playing
want to watch
a VR boxing game.
And the baby
God.
toddled into it.
it. Nailed her right in the
Yeah.
face too. Holy shit!
That's a
Damn.
knockout.
Yeah. But all right, so that
that
petered out quicker than I
well,
thought it
and
was
the
going
thing, it's just, everybody gets up in arms when they hear about stuff like this.
But there's never any follow through.
But until it happens in your own backyard, and then you're like, well, Billy Joe Bob, he's a good old boy.
That's just like what happened with the case of the Olympic gymnasts.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody kept thinking, somebody else will do it. Somebody else will do it. Somebody else will do it. And this went on and on and on for decades.
Well, and not only that,
to.
the abstract of a child predator, everybody hates.
Right.
But when the child predator becomes someone too many people are willing to go, oh, come on, and let's give him a pass. He didn't do any real harm. He didn't mean anything by it. But if that had been a total fucking stranger...
I am not those people.
No, I'm not either. But a lot of those people are, and the same ones will be like, string them up! But then when it's somebody they grew up with or they have a history with, they're like, oh, well, he's a good guy.
Now, you know what? Right there, good guys aren't child predators.
Yeah.
Not ever.
Good guys don't
Not
take advantage of young girls,
No. Nope.
Married good guys don't...
well, good guys don't take advantage of anyone.
Right. But, that goes out the window. He had a wife, so he betrayed her. Mm-hmm. He preyed on the confidence and the trust of a young girl.
He used a position of authority to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he made several really bad judgment calls, and you'll never convince me that there's not a history of that.
Because any one of those steps, he could have stopped.
And he could have thought it through. Mm-hmm. And so probably the whole reason Amber, didn't you say he works in like a sports, like...
Yeah, it was athletic director.
D1 Sports is like if you want your kid to go on in baseball or whatever, you
you're
send
trying
him
to
D1 Sports to train. And,
so makes me wonder if that was why he got in that position, because it gives him access to young athletic kids, in a position of trust. It's not okay.
I don't see how they would be okay hiring him.
Well, he ought to lose his job. He ought to not be able to work with children anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do a background check.
He was a volunteer.
Yeah, but
so there was no background check.
When you let people have access to your children, there should be background checks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And there should be this is a company, this D1 or whatever, that their whole business model involves working with children. Mm-hmm. So that's a given that there should be a background check.
Oh, definitely.
And if you get in trouble for something like that, you ought to automatically be terminated and not eligible for rehire. I mean, this seems real.
Seems basic.
Simple, yeah. Like, there should be a lot of...
Yep.
But like you said, somehow he's connected, or... And so it's, okay, he didn't mean it, but, you know, I mean... better be glad it wasn't my daughter.
And, okay, let me ask you this. Here's a good question. I just want to see what y'all think.
Okay.
Like, you were talking about him being connected. Okay, here's the situation. This guy has preyed upon these girls. He's a volunteer, so you really can't. I mean, you know, leave, don't ever come back. It's not like you can fire him.
No, but you can get a restraining order to ban him from
the premises.
any campus.
But here's my point. His wife works for the school district.
Okay, he doesn't.
I get that, but I mean,
what are you saying?
how do you
Should she
view
be?
that? Should she be?
No, it's
No, I
it's
don't
not.
think so.
She didn't do anything wrong, but if she covered up for him, or
Then that's a misdemeanor.
right, like, you know, just because her husband did it, I don't hold her in any way responsible until she starts trying to cover, you know, and then that changes everything.
Well, they had said something about, since he wasn't charged with anything at the time, there was no reason to ban him from the premises of the school.
But he's charged now.
These text messages
now, but
are
before,
right, because
when they supposedly told him not to come
Not
back.
to come back.
But see, that doesn't even make sense.
But they have evidence of him acting inappropriately.
I know.
But
they're saying since there were no charges at the time, there was no reason to ban him from the premises.
That is bullshit, number one.
Okay.
Number two, that is a bad thing, a bad judgment call on the part of the principal.
Because you want to let it go so bad that it's an actual
Becomes
criminal
a physical
offense.
assault.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like him saying sexual things to a teenager isn't bad enough. You want to wait till he touches her?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
unacceptable.
which is more important, his position and your
his volunteer position,
right,
at that.
and, or even his position in the community, or your position with that company, or whatever, or a child's safety. And I'm sorry, she's a child. She was in school. She was, you know, and thank God.
And, you know, it's not like this was hearsay. She had the text.
proof. Yeah, it wasn't like a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was in writing.
Well, it wasn't like her just out of the blue one day decided,
Accusing
I'm
him.
going to get him in trouble
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just say all this. No,
I mean,
she
they had hard,
text
cold proof,
messages.
and they just
And
swept
think
it under
about
the
it.
rug.
Thank God this girl was strong enough, or whatever enough she was, because I'm sure it was scary and hard and all that, to stand up and say, he tried this with me and it wasn't right. Because there's no telling how many girls, the same thing or worse, and they were too afraid, too embarrassed, too...
Well, like I said, there's already more girls coming forward.
Yeah, you know, because I got the situation I grew up in, and this is tragic. It is. If it happened to me, and it did happen to me in school with a teacher, I never said a fucking word because I was afraid my dad would punish me. You know, it never occurred to me that he would be like, "You have violated my daughter. You have, you know." I would have been in trouble because I would have been I felt like he would say that I
understand what you're saying, because one time
did something like was being inappropriate to
yeah, you caused
yeah.
This isn't sexual, but I remember, I think it was my 13th birthday, and my mother was supposed to take me, we lived in Nakona at the time, supposed to take me to Wichita Falls to Chuck E. Cheese, have pizza, you know, have a fun day.
Yeah.
Games, food. And I'm sure Grandma gave her money to do it.
to finance it.
Well, so we go to Wichita Falls, and she ends up taking me to a drug house. And I'm sitting here, she disappears off in a room, and I'm sitting here in a living room with strange grown men.
and it's a wonder something awful didn't happen to
Scared
you.
to death. And, you know, on the way home at like 10 o'clock at night, haven't eaten anything all day. She stops at a gas station, get me a corn dog. And I remember I came home, and I had just fallen asleep, and I knew, Grandma knew something was up. She came
She
in,
was trying to
like,
catch you off guard.
"What'd you have for dinner?" And I was like, pizza. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm like, why did I do that? I was
Lion sack.
I don't know. And why the fuck would I cover for my mother? I mean,
Because
I
that
can't
was just
stand her,
that was
but-
just your instinct.
yeah, I guess I thought I was going to get in trouble. I don't know.
You didn't want
I can't give an
you
answer
knew,
why I
you
did
knew
it.
would cause a big blow up, and you didn't want that. You know, I did that shit all the time, you know. But like my dad, he literally, well, were you being, you know, and I mean, like, this didn't happen because I never told him. But